Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality. How are you, wherever you are in the world when you're watching? A huge shout out to you. Okay, so happy weekend to everybody. It's Monday morning here in Australia, and it's a beautiful morning. You can see the light coming through the window. Over the weekend, of course, the big news in the US, I guess, or part of the big news, or do you even consider it big news? Certainly it was no surprise. We had JFK Jr. Dropping out or suspending his campaign and supporting and endorsing Donald Trump. And, of course, he appeared on stage with Trump. And after he'd finished speaking, Trump held out his arms and JFK Jr. went over and embraced him, and it reminded me of the scene in the Bible where Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not religious, but that I was raised a Catholic. I'm spiritual. I don't really follow any particular religion, but the Judas Iscariot story really stuck with me as a kid, and that's what I thought when RFK Jr. went over and embraced Donald Trump. It was a Judas Iscariot move. Okay, so we'll look at, will that make any difference? When I've read on him before, and of course for those, and I've said it before, for those that thought he was some great saviour, democratic, progressive saviour, you've now got your answer. This was a cook-up, a stitch-up, all along. So will he make any difference? When to the vote, to Harris Walz ticket, when I've read on that in the past, it was simply he was taking votes away from Donald Trump. So from that point of view, so more so than the Democratic Party, from that point of view, will his supporters go to Trump? I don't know. If they were totally against Trump, maybe not. But it seemed to me when I saw that staged event with what were they, sparklers behind them? It kind of like if you're trying to replicate the DNC convention with these stupid big sparklers behind you, and Judas Iscariot embracing the convicted felon, you're not doing a too good job. Okay, so anyway, we'll look at that. The Telegram CEO has been arrested in France by the French authorities, and that will be interesting. I, for one, am very glad. I know Ukraine uses Telegram a lot, but the heart of these charges is not about free speech. It is because he failed to stop, to moderate, to curb. It's not even moderation. He failed to stop on his Telegram app drug trafficking, child sexual content and fraud. He failed to stop that. So let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson to anyone who fails to moderate in this way. You go over to Europe, Musk, if you're doing any of this, you might just be arrested. Okay, so we'll look at whether or not he will be found guilty. He was born in Russia. He's not a Russian citizen anymore. I think he left Russia when he was about 14. But the Russians have asked for consulate access to him. Tells you a lot, doesn't it? Okay, we'll look at that. Can Harris Walz win Florida? We're going to start to do some of this navel gazing, if you want to call it, a stargazing, if you like, to see what might be possible. And we'll work our way around various races, various states. We'll look at Florida and North Carolina. I know you want me to look at Texas. I'm less sure about Texas, or not sure. I'm not sure about either Florida or North Carolina, but I've got a pull toward those two states, obviously. Texas will be very difficult to wrest away from the Republicans simply because of the illegality that goes on down there, the voter suppression, the tossing out of votes, a couple of 100,000, I think, at one point, and the rigging, if you like. While I'm on that, we talked a lot about the state processes down at the county level failing to certify on time. There's a good podcast with Mark Elias explaining all that process with David Packman if you want to go and check that out. It's really interesting. I want to do a deep dive on the media. I don't know whether I do that here or on Random Sage, but I am increasingly turning to liberal podcasters, independent media. Again, I'll try and get that list up on my website of the media that I consume. Semaphore is a good one. Bloomberg and ex-New York Times journalists started that. I have it coming through my feed of a morning. Lots of independent media, and really getting to the point where, you know, I very rarely look at legacy media now. I think that's a good thing. Okay, Lebanon, Israel. I said it would escalate. It was very clear in my reading a couple of weeks ago that it would escalate, and I'm sorry to say that it has. The question now is, will it develop into all-out war? We'll look at that. While we're on Too Big to Rig, I know I'm jumping around a bit, and on that state certification, those state certification issues, or county, regional, states like Georgia that I've covered before, if Harris Walz win Too Big to Rig, then that will be a good thing because this all becomes a bit of a moot point. We'll look at that. Okay. All right, let's get going. I'm using the Rider-Waite and the Morgan Greer Tarot if I need it today. Very simple decks. Not simple. Rider-Waite is the OG deck, but they're easy to remember and easily purchased if you're looking to get into tarot. These are a good place to start, the Rider-Waite tarot deck. All right, JFK Jr., Judas Iscariot. All right, the betrayal. I can only imagine how hurtful, how terrible this is for the Kennedy family, that this has occurred. It's like trampling the legacy of the Kennedy legacy. It's like tramping on the graves of Bobby Kennedy and John F. Kennedy. It's really, I can only imagine how it must feel for them. Anyway, JFK Jr., imagine that's what he goes down for. That's what he's remembered for. And in the early days, I know he's a convicted felon as well, and he's had drug addiction and all sorts of things occur. Later in life, the brainworm, and of course this bear cub, burying a bear cub in a New York park, Central Park. Many people say, I guess what I'm getting at, that at one time he was a brilliant environmental lawyer, and many people say that after the brainworm incident, he was never the same again. I think the Kennedy statement, or one of the Kennedy tweets, Kerry Kennedy, said a sad ending to a very sad story. Okay, JFK Jr. It's just hateful the way that the MAGAs are trashing the Kennedy name now. When I say trashing, they've claimed it. It's terrible. It's terrible. This is what is so unpalatable about this. I wonder how JFK Jr. feels. All right, will the JFK Jr. endorsement of Donald Trump make any difference? Will JFK Jr. endorsement make any difference to Trump? Will JFK Jr. endorsement help Trump in any way? Make any difference to his vote at the end of the day? JFK Jr. make any difference to Trump's vote at the end of the day at election time? Will JFK Jr. make any difference to Trump's vote? Oh, God. Wish fulfillment. It was a wish fulfillment. And, of course, people have said that he was questioning, you know, could he drop Vance and bring in Kennedy because he really liked the sound of the Trump-Kennedy name, Trump-Kennedy ticket. Again, an appropriation of a great name. And then we get isolation. Okay, so really, is he going to be taking any Democrat votes? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And anyone who tells you any different really doesn't know the Democratic Party base. Maybe they were a Democratic voter 10 years ago and got sucked into MAGA, and they're commenting right now. But look, isolation, introspection, review, and that's crossing the wish fulfillment card. Doesn't look like it. We get weary in battle. It seems smacked of desperation. Some have said this was his October surprise, but he went early because of the DNC convention. The Wheel of Fortune is in the past. The Wheel of Fortune in the past. I'm getting the past, like he thought that by taking JFK Jr., he would somehow bring in Democratic Party voters and draw them away from Harris. JFK Jr. has been so on the fringe that it was a no-go anyway. What he might have done is bring in some disenchanted MAGAs back to the tent, but endorsement's not on the ticket, is it? I did predict that it's possible he may get rid of Vance for Kennedy. I think that's what's going through his mind. How would you feel if you were JD Vance right now, Shady Vance? Okay, it could have brought him in the dollars. Okay, so maybe now Republican donors were actually backing Kennedy's Judas Iscariot's campaign because it was a cook-up from the word go. They were doing it to try when Biden was in the race. Kennedy came along as someone, JFK Jr. came along as someone younger. I call him the abomination, the Kennedy abomination. So anyway, they were hoping to draw votes away from the Democratic Party. But it seems that the donors are going to like this in some way, okay? So in Page of Swords, we get, the spy in the camp. It's a page. It's not a king. It's not a queen. So we could have some young people that were following young conspiracy theories. What does Trump call his basement dwellers? Gee whiz. We could be getting some of those anti-vaccination people coming over now, maybe that were pulling away from Trump because he actually did develop the vaccines. They might come back to the tent in some way. It's just awful energy. It's just, I don't know. I keep saying the universe has the last say because look at the energy. Look at the energy of this. The Hermit card crossing the wish fulfillment card, the Seven of Cups, illusionary, illusion and delusion. And then we get circles of support. So, in other words, yes, it will bring some that were following Kennedy over to Trump that may have abandoned Trump at the time of the COVID and developing the vaccines. But it looks like there's an illusion here, an illusion of support. Let's see what's at the outcome. So we get hopes and fears, Ten of Swords, downfall. What are you telling me? Okay, yeah, it will benefit Trump to maybe to a certain degree. The Page of Wands, again, like the Page of Swords, is not a big political clout. It's not a big drawing of votes to him, but it is something. And then we get defending oneself. Yeah, so at the same time, it's created problems for him, in so much as it's brought that trickle of waning Kennedy. What was he on it? Some terrible percentage after the DNC. It was a failed campaign, but he brings a trickle over with him. But at the same time, he brings so much baggage. The Democratic Party are going to have a field day In fact, they already are. Or you only need to look at X, Twitter, X Twitter. That's a good one. To understand what people are levelling at him. That, you know, all these bizarre things are coming out. Everything that he said against Trump is coming out, and we get suspending, pausing. Okay, so this could be some, I don't know, there's a legal thing here. Maybe. What's going on here? Could be, I don't know, does a Kennedy, I don't know, JFK Jr., someone that gave him money, want their money back? Someone who thought that we would never endorse Trump because he said he wasn't going to endorse any political party. There's looming strife. There's a prosecution here. I know what this is. Much is being made, pardon me, of VP Harris, Kamala Harris, our wonderful Kamala Harris, and she is wonderful, not taking his calls. It seems to me offering someone a job, as Trump has said, he'll have a position in his cabinet. It looks like that is illegal to do that, and that's why VP Harris did not take his calls, because it's an illegal to offer someone this quid. Well, it's not quid pro quo. It's actually a direct. It's like a bribe. It's I'll give you this if you do this for me. Looks like there's some kind of legal stuff happening here. It brings more trouble than what it's worth, is the outcome of this reading. So we have here the Two of Swords, crossroads, waiting for my ship to come in. But here comes the moon, the volatility of the moon, and it's something to do with the past. So there's a lot happening in this reading. A lot is likely to emerge. You think you heard it all about JFK Jr.? Think again. There is lots to come, a lot of baggage. Oh my God, it's going to get pretty terrible for him. But there's also some kind of legal. I don't know whether it's coming from the donors or whether it's this whole, you can't offer someone a job in return for their endorsement. Like, it seems to me there's real trouble coming down the pipeline for JFK Jr. and Trump in terms of that endorsement. Okay, all right. Just to be cheeky, would he rather, I mean, any day we could hear he's replaced Kennedy for Vance. He's so desperate. Would he rather Kennedy as a running mate? Would he rather JFK Jr. as a running mate? Would he? See, that could be it too. Would Trump rather JFK Jr. as a running mate? Okay, all right. The Queen of Cups, something is let out of the cup. And the Ace of Swords, clarity, crossroads. Ooh, oh yeah. The Democrats in the past giving and receiving help. Maybe he thinks it would bring in more donors than the president. Absolutely, he would rather him than Shady. Watch your back, Shady. His campaign is not going well. Okay. Doesn't matter however you come at it, his campaign is failing. You look at the polls, you look at it's interesting, one of my followers on X Twitter actually did a little bit of a stock take of the yard signs in her area. Less Trump, virtually hardly any. Streets where there were packed full of Trump signs, nothing. And that's what we call qualitative evidence when you start to do that. And then the quantitative evidence, yes, I do have an government evaluation background too. When you start to look at the quantitative, which would be the polls, the surveys, etc., then you're seeing Trump's campaign failing. So it doesn't matter how much he lies, and that was in that spread too, the distastefulness of it all, that doesn't equal success. All right, Telegram CEO. child sexual content, pedophilia, pornography, fraud, criminal activity, drug trafficking. My goodness. Telegram. How low do you have to go? How much evidence do you have to have before you need social media reform? I think that gives it to you right there. Okay. All right. This Telegram CEO on failing to stop fraud, drug trafficking, child sexual content on Telegram. Will he be convicted? Will the Telegram CEO be convicted? Wheel of Fortune. It's going to lead to change. It's difficult. Because you've got all that free speech stuff, but France isn't the US where that is used as a get out of jail card for these kinds of crimes, failing to curb criminal activity. So let's see. There he is defending himself. So we've got his fortune then. The Wheel of Fortune is crossed by the 10 of Wands. So he's carrying, these are serious charges basically. Maybe his luck has run out in a way. Here we go. Here he is defending himself. We've got him being arrested in the past, and also restriction. It's like this was always going to happen. It's like it was bound to happen. And so it's put everybody else on notice. You do this on your platform. Be prepared. Be prepared. Something coming to fruition in time. And then we get the Three of Cups, circles of support, but it's celebration. It's a yes card. That's in the immediate future. I think a few people are going to be quite glad that this is that he's been arrested. Okay, let's keep going. The Death card. The Death card. The Death card. The ending of something. Oh, and then hope. Okay, this is sending a real shockwave across the social media world, and it is about time. You know that I've been calling for social media reform for a long, long time, and talking a lot about misinformation. We deserve better, and this is the part of the Aquarius, Pluto moving into Aquarius as well. This is going to have a huge impact across the social media world. Now, hopes and fears, we have win. That's in the hopes and fears. So some will see this as a win, and some will be wanting him to beat these charges. King of Cups, okay, that's the outcome card. Maturity, wisdom. It's a yes card in the outcome. I asked, would he be found guilty? And then we get the court here, 2 kings. Oh, gosh. 3 cups remaining and 1 cup offered. So, yeah, look, this is going to move fairly quickly. What I see here is that something coming. You have a look at the outcome card. Something coming to fruition in time. It's a yes. He will be convicted. He may be offered something, so there may be some way that he can help himself by urging to clean things up, to make amends. But this is a conviction here. There could be does France want some information here? Justice, there he is. And there's the Devil card. There's the drug trafficking and the fraud. Oh gosh, there's some information here. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Okay. Oops. Oh gee whiz. Sorry. I just knocked over my tower. I'll just put that out of the way. There's a lot here. There's a lot here to unpack. I could do a whole reading on this. There's some in the way. Watch this space is all I can say, because no wonder Russia wanted access to him, consulate access to him. There's information at the back end of Telegram that people want. So yes, he is going to be convicted, and part of the deal might be give it up. Give up the criminal activity, give us the IP addresses of whatever they do, and we'll give you some sort of deal. That's what's going to happen. They better be careful with that death card that Russia doesn't bump him off. Wow. Yeah. This is a whole criminal enterprise they're wanting. That's what France wants. Then we get the truth. This is bigger than what we think. Okay. What's at the base of the pack? It's an inevitability. Ooh, gosh. Brilliant move by the French. Wow. Okay. Musk, you better watch out. They might be looking for the lurkers who are breaking the law on your site too. Okay. Wow. Oh, I saw that all. Yes, I did. Okay. Let's go to Harris Walz. Harris Walz. Should we change? That was pretty heavy. I didn't realise. They're going for all that criminal information. And looks like he's going to flip, in other words, to get out, to get free. Better watch his back, or he could be bumped off in prison. All right, let's have a look at. There's more to this criminal activity too. I'm very tempted to do more. Okay, let's see. Is this something to do with Russian criminal activity? What's going? He better be careful. He better watch his back. Are we looking? Somebody's giving things. There's information being shared in that app. Gosh, wow! It's about a handoff. Like I'm getting information being handed off. This could even draw in the Trump campaign too. Oh my goodness me. I'm getting information being passed around. What is this? I have to do it. What is this information? Let's go back to the other cards. What is this information that's being handed off? What is this information being handed off? What is this information being handed off? What is this information that's being passed around? What is this? What do the French want? They know it's there. What do they want? A criminal information there. Does this involve Putin? Does this involve Trump in America? Is there a connection here? What is this information? So there's a bombshell there. And then we get the Three of Pentacles. Well, there's fraud involved here, but there's three involved. We get strength. It's strong information. Does it involve Russia? Yes. They're very worried about it. Something coming to fruition in time. Okay, so, wow. These cards came up before. Let's give it a shuffle. Does this involve Trump and Putin? It involves many players, but does this involve Trump and Putin? Ooh, does this involve Trump and Putin? Trafficking? The Knight of Cups? Queen of Wands is my card for Harris. And the Tower. Oh my goodness me. Yes. French are very clever in the way that they're doing this. Okay, so there's it's an information channel. Used as an information channel. Could uncover things like election interference, those sorts of things. We'll do more on that. Okay, so what I said, watch that space, and I meant it. Okay. All right. Harris Walz. Can Kamala Harris? Oh my God, she is just incredible. Can the Democratic Party win Florida? What do you call it? Is it the Sunshine State? I don't know. Can Harris Walz win in Florida? Can they win Florida? Can they win Florida? Can they win in Florida? Can Harris Walz win big in Florida? Can they take the Senate or the increase their House of Representatives holdings there? Can Harris Walz win in Florida? Win big in Florida? So we have here abuse of power. That's interesting. I'd say that this could be in reference to how Ron DeSantis is perceived. And then we get the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is crossing the abuse of power. Luck is here. It's got the upper hand. Okay, let's shuffle some more because that went. All right. So, can they win big in Florida? Can Harris win big in Florida, please? Okay, these cards just want to come out. So we've got the donors, we've got families, family legacies. We have the King of Pentacles in the past. That's nice. That's my card for Trump. That's his home state. The King of Swords, prosecutions. There could be people, particularly I read somewhere, over 65s who are pulling away from Trump. This whole convicted felon thing, multiple indictments, storming of the Capitol, they don't like that. People want law and order. And we get the Chariot. Can they win big? Absolutely. Three of Pentacles. There's maybe three wins here that we weren't expecting. And it's inevitable. It is inevitable. They could pick up 3 seats, for example, 3 extra seats. I don't know. There's a plan. These are good cards. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so I know Rick Scott and his Democratic opponent. I know he's supposedly in front, but there is House of Reps and I think maybe even Senate. The High Court, of course, the High Court and the Page of Rods. Young people. Watch the young people in Florida. Justice, the Democratic Party. They will have to defend, obviously, their wins as that's going to be common. But it looks like they're going to pick up seats, and I haven't read specifically on that Senate seat, but it is the women vote who are propelling them forward, and I do see that older age group not being happy with Trump. So watch Florida. There is a yield there for the Democratic Party. All right, so can they win? Can they win the actual state? Can they win the actual state? Do they get the Electoral College votes? Now, we've got the Tower card coming out. Towers can't. That could be the shock. That could be the shock of the election. Can they win? Can they win Florida? Can they get Florida's Electoral College votes? That's the question. Can the Democratic Party get Florida's Electoral College votes? Oh, my God. So we got the Hermit. And then we get the High Priestess. Oh, okay, so there's something in the works here. We don't necessarily know about it. We've got a downfall here, and we get restriction. Ooh, that's coming up here a lot. Paranoia. The Republican Party are worried. Page of Swords. And then we get the Four of Cups. Okay, so 3 cups lost, 1 remaining. We get somebody that's wounded in battle, and then we get the Knight of Swords, the Truth. Okay, so the Republican Party right now is very, very worried about Florida. We get the Star card, and then the outcome card is that Tower. Oh my goodness me, it's the big crossroads and a lot of volatility. Oh my God, that would simply be that Uranus type energy. That would be almost unbelievable. And then we get the President, the Emperor card here. What's at the base of the pack? The Page of Pentacles, young people, Knight of Rods, the movement, 3 of Cups coming up, and an inevitability. Okay, so it is I see just really volatile energies here. This Tower card, oh my gosh. Okay, it's in play, and it would be a huge upset. Am I reading this correctly? Can they win the electoral college votes in Florida? Oh, the voter. Oh, the world card. Oh, the sun card. Florida's in play. Absolutely, absolutely, and it will shake everything up. What a race. What a race. Alrighty, the Republicans, they know. They already have some internal polling. They are worried. They are looking at everything they can do to stop Florida turning blue. Okay, so one last North Carolina. I'm sorry, I haven't got the time. We'll go to Israel, Lebanon later on this week. All right, North Carolina. Maybe North Carolina. Can the Democratic Party win in North Carolina? Can the Democratic Party, one more shuffle, can the Democratic Party win in North Carolina? Can the Democratic Party win in North Carolina? Consistency, death of the old, ending of the old. Who consistently wins North Carolina? The past, we get the past at the foundation of the reading. We get the Nine of Swords, anxiety. The Republicans know behind the scenes that both these states are in play. The Chariot, again, this is like the election's going to be really... Now we get abuse of power. They're going to do everything, try everything they can. Watch it happening in North Carolina. There's a Democratic Party governor there. The Magician card, manifestation, and then we get Trump there. Manipulation. By whom? By Trump in some way. There's now trying, I don't know, maybe this will come up. What usually happens is Spirit will give me something. It'll come up in the next week. Look for any news on North Carolina. 10 of Pentacles, hopes and fears. The donors are even worried in North Carolina. And then we get the Devil card. Okay, what's here with the Devil? And then we get the Wheel of Fortune, luck, and then we get the Supreme Court. This one will go to the Supreme Court. There's a lot of shenanigans going to go on in North Carolina come November 2024. We get the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a lot of manipulation. It goes to the High Court, and definitely the King of Swords, the prosecutor. Okay, will the High Court? Oh God, this is just. Will the High Court will the High Court ruling favour the Democratic Party? Will the High Court ruling means the Democratic Party wins? High Court ruling, Democratic Party wins. I want you to say that, Harris, my card for Harris, and the Tower, okay, and the High Priestess, okay. There is shocks coming, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so there's voter suppression here. Something's going to come out that they've done something in North Carolina pretty terrible. I think the ultimate decision goes Harris's way, but it's really too soon to call. There's a whole bunch of, there's a Stop the Steal at play in North Carolina. I think we're all going to be not surprised. I don't know. We haven't seen anything yet. Anyway, thank you everyone. Bye for now.